And even 24 hours after the fact, the smell of smoke just sits with you in your nose. This morning, fire crews were able to tell us that the flames were contained to the back of the building. And if you can see behind me at that V, that is part of the roof that is just gone. You look closely and you can tell exactly where the car started to slide off and then roll, landing right here where I am standing. And looking all around the scene, you can see something like the rear view mirror over here, and even landing in this creek, you can see the floor mat from inside that car. And if you drive up and down Linwood Southmont Road, this right here is what you're gonna see: power trucks and people up there trying to restore power to this area. It's gonna be a long process that could last several more hours to even a day or two.
You came face to face with this thing tonight, I hear.
I did, but not in the way that I thought I would. I was talking with a man who is doing his best to try and take care of the escapee, and right before our interview, he saw something in his backyard, which then led to this. There's a lot of concern because people in this area knew Miss Crowell. In fact, after she passed away, after she was killed, some friends came and set up this memorial here at the park where she was found. He was driving out of control before he smashed into the side of this home, took out most of a wall, and nearly killed an entire family. So for 2 weeks, 7th graders are going to be looking through worksheets like this, and also share this photo with you. Again, I cannot stress this enough. This right here is the silver car that High Point police believed. I'm about 6'1", and the water around 9:30 Saturday would have been up to my chest here. And even walking through where this whole flooded area was, the grass is bent this way, showing how strong the currents were. Collection of streets are called God's Kiss because in the past, the storms just seem to wrap around them, never actually going through. Overnight, though, these streets took the direct punch of the wind. Now, in the past 3 hours, we have learned that a 6th detention employee has been fired over this case. However, no charges have been brought against them. We have reached out to the Forsyth County District Attorney's Office to figure out exactly why that is, and we have a Captain America bike. We also have a Disney Princess bike in the front yard, and now just a few feet away up these steps, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bullets. Yeah, a miracle is putting it lightly. 5 vehicles were involved in this crash. 4 of them went up in flames directly behind me in the charred parts of the road just in a matter of seconds. You walk down here on South Elm Street. We're outside the Wrangler shop in the 300 block of South Elm Street, and you see smashed windows that are now boarded up. But if you look directly behind me, you're going to see some businesses that are still in the process of boarding up as a precaution. Even they are hanging up some boards after 2 very violent nights here in Greensboro. One thing we've also seen today, I've sat and I've watched people come on by. They've taken photos of the smashed windows, of the graffiti that is painted on a lot of these boards, and one family did catch my eye. It was a group of people that were going from smash window to smash window. It was a father, his wife, and their 3 kids, and they were telling me that they are using these sites, these scenes, as a teaching moment for their kids.
People started getting angry because they were like, no, you will not treat people of color like this.
It's a challenging conversation for Frank Mickens to have with his 3 children. Race, social injustice, why people do what they do.
But it is a reality as a Black American that there are things we have to approach with a certain mindset.
His family has watched the past 24 hours play out in downtown Greensboro online.
One thing seeing it on television, it's one thing seeing it on Facebook and seeing the live reports. But my wife really thought we needed to come down here for our kids.
And as they walked along Elm Street,
they've never seen this stuff. And so I'm like pointing out buildings that have the boards on the windows, and they're like, what happened? And we're trying to kind of peel the orange and really tell the story in a way that they can receive it, but not scare them.
They stopped at spots where a small group of people did a large amount of damage.
What kind of emotions do you think they had at the time?
Anger.
Anger? What do you think people felt when they did this, Langston?
Hurt.
Hurt. Wow, that's a good word.
Using these sites.
How do you think the restaurant feel? The people at the restaurant, how do they feel?
Probably upset. Probably.
So now we got more hurt people, right?
To explain peaceful protest and love.
So now our question is, kids, how do you think we should behave?
Outside the International Civil Rights Center and Museum, the most poignant moment for Frank and his family.
But don't you find that really sad that a symbol of equality and love was just vandalized?
They stopped and they prayed with and over people of all races.
The positives. We build on the love that we have so that we can approach the anger that we have.
Building on the love we have so we can approach the anger that we have. Nobody has said it as well as he has that I've heard from. Now, one thing, whenever we're talking about Frank's message of love, we've seen businesses wanting to spread that message. All up and down Elm Street, you're going to see businesses that have support messages for those that are still fighting to be heard. Live in Greensboro, Daniel Pierce, Fox 8 News.